Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. You are watching Travis Semulin Sours do a Zendikar Rising traditional best of 3 draft on MTG Arena. Chat, say hello to YouTube. Yeah, we're going to take the Maul of the Skyclaves here, and if we possibly can, force in, play white so that we can play it. It's quite a good card. If you'd like to watch the drafting live, you can do so at www.twitch.tv/Semulin. We are very much ready for Cube, very much ready for Kaldheim, but in the meantime, we can still draft. Alrighty. So this is where I'd really like to take a white card so we can pair it with Maul of the Skyclaves, but we can't because there isn't one. And this displeases me. It's a pretty good Odin picture. Cat pictures are always welcome in Discord. Dog pictures as well. I think I'm okay with the rebuke. Like, I'll play red-white. I don't think it's exactly the color pair I'm most excited about, but we could make it work. There's a Lull Mage's Domination, huh? As well as a Feed the S-Worm. I don't think we ignore a third pick Domination. For blue-white, we're not blue-white yet. We could easily be green-black. Like, I'm going to play whatever the best we can possibly play is. Like, when I say we're going to try to play white, what I mean is, if given an option, like let's say the last pack had a Nahiri's Binding, I'd probably take it, right? So ideally, what I want to do when I open a strong card like Maul of the Skyclaves is stick to that color as much as possible, but we're not getting that option here. So like, if white isn't actually open, we really can't force it. Like, I've got nothing against an Angel Heart Protector or a Cliffclaven Sailsword, but they're just not on the power level of Gnarl Rid Colony and Geezer Mage, or the Arbor Mage for that matter. So I think there's some case to be made here for taking the Geezer Mage over the Arbor Mage, just because we have a suspicion that there's at least 2 people that aren't playing blue. I don't think so, just because splashing has been so bad in this format, Synthetica. Yeah, I think green-blue is actually where we're supposed to be. Like, there's some, hey, maybe you should be doing this, maybe you should be doing that. I think Arbor Mage's name is Raphael. This is a really weird start to a draft. There's also a possibility we should just be doing rogue things. Because, like, these go nicely with rogues. I think I'm going to leave myself open to that. No, I'm not. We've just seen like a bazillion Arbor Mages, and it's pick 5. We're in blue-green kicker. That kind of sucks. But not just for me. For literally everyone. I guess we're still open to red. Why not? But I think this is me being like, yeah, we're blue. We'll play 2 Geezer Mages in a Domination and just add this on to whatever else we find. I still think green is more open than the other colors, but it doesn't super matter. I'm kind of down with a squid. Like, it's a 2-drop that I can play in the blue deck. ACOG is fine. Here's another kind of maybe rogues. But I'm just gonna buckle in on blue here. Like, we're gonna play blue. We've got like small reasons to be playing the other colors. Mostly large reason to play white. If we do indeed believe that green is the most open, then we should probably grab the aesthetic. As open as blue is, I think I can find a divination. Yeah, I'm not embarrassed to play this. kind of embarrassed to play those, so sure, let's have cards from every color. So options include, but are not limited to, looking at rogue things with the Thought Thief, doubling down on the Maul plan with a binding. And this isn't actually crazy. I was thinking green-blue with fixing for Maul as an option. It's not worth splashing this. It's absolutely... if you can pull it off, sure, but it's very unlikely that it would work. So Royal Mage is the safe pick, which may very well be what I take. I'd like to have one. The reason I'm considering these is that these colors weren't open the previous round, which means they should be here. The binding gives us the upside of potentially having a Maul to put on something. This gives us the upside of potentially getting into rogues. It would work well here, but I think I'm still going to be a little chicken and take the Royal Mage. But this may be enough. We had a suspicion that black was open, and we're getting past Feed the Swarm, Vanquish, and Taborax. I think that's probably time for us to move. Because this is fine in a deck without any Clerics. It's a Windrake that grows over time. So I think this is probably where I'm going, unless something really forces me out of it. Balagad Recovery is almost close, but I'm just going to take a Divner. I don't think at this point I'm likely to get into red. I would need something pretty dang good for that. Okay, it's buckle in time, buckaroos, because we can take the binding, abandon these, and move, but I think I've seen enough black signals that I should just be doing that. Yeah, that's my concern, is it's very difficult to splash in this format. Like, say there's an Evolving Wilds in this format, we can talk about splashing, but there's not. I think Acquisitions Expert is where I want to be, and we're just in blue-black. Feels really weird to pass the Rogue payoff card and then move in. But here we are. I definitely want one Field Research. I also want a Blood Priest, but tough cookies. Probably don't end up playing that. Wasn't an early deck, green multicolor deck. Doing well, Alex. How are you? Yes, we've played that deck, so it needs to be green, not any other color. You need to have a lot of Reclaim the Waste, usually 2 or 3, and you need to have very powerful cards worth splashing. The Maul is in the conversation at that point, but I wouldn't do it just for the Maul. It would need to be the Maul plus. All right, I'm certainly interested in 2 Acquisitions Experts. Do we think we can get another one of these later? I don't think I'm willing to risk it. Interesting. That can't just be better than what we have. I don't think it is. Maybe it was. This is a weird draft. Have a dude.
Hello.
Hello to you. Thank you very much for the resub. Y'all spam some cats for Kava. Thank you. No, I certainly don't want that. I might play a Spare Supplies. Okay. This was the pack that we would wheel a rogue from. We didn't wheel the multicolor one, but we got this one. It's almost as good. Okay, turns out I could have gotten another binding and or beckoning, and it makes me sad, but I'm not sad to pick this up. Looks like the blue-white might have been better. But we'll see at the end. I'm probably playing this. We've got some party peoples. And at this point, realistically, I'm probably playing the Minotaur too. So I'm not saying that you can't splash in this format. I'm saying that if you do, you kind of have to be green, which really limits your options. We've got a Falconeer, which I like as a finisher, and we've got a Bubble Tea. What does this deck not have? Because I feel like what it doesn't have is removal. And I should probably take the Bubble Tea, even though I'd really like the good threat. Kind of sucks, but here we are. Like, this is my interaction. I can maybe counter a spell, that's it. So, probably need to be a grown-up here and take the Bubble Tea. Sweet! Okay. The things we don't have, we're getting. I like it. Let's have more removal. I don't hate the way this has turned out. I feel a little kind of sad I can't play them all. Okay. Is 5 Mind Drain too many Mind Drain? I would think so. I usually don't want to play more than 2. I didn't think Clerics was necessarily an option. I think what this is saying is that Clerics was open, but White wasn't. Because we didn't see any White in the first pack, or this would not be in my sideboard. I do feel like Rogues has been relatively open, so this is not bad. I don't mind this card in Rogues at all. We can probably play a Grasp. I've got enough mages that this would be playable, but I don't think good. This is a little awkward because there's the value spell land, which I want. There's the payoff card for being in the color pair we're in, which I want. And there's some another 2-drop, which I want. But let's trust the table. They've been telling us to do rogue things. Let's do rogue things. Glacial Grasp was previewed by a really cool streamer. Divner number 2? Sure. There's going to be some number of times we just have to play this out as a 2-drop because I don't have 2-drops. But I'll deal with it. We're kind of rogue mages. Rogue mage squid. I would definitely tune into this stream all week. And definitely on Friday. This actually worked out pretty well. You tune in then too, obviously. I've played this in Rogues before and it hasn't been the worst thing ever. But I don't think I want to here. I'm trying to decide if it would be better than a Silencer just because it comes down earlier. And I guess we can still make that decision. I mean, if you want one, maybe you want two. I don't know. Just put that in the deck, I think. I think we'd play a Skitter Snake, but I don't think I have to have one. Wow. Okay. We're getting kind of everything I could have wanted. So at this point, I probably play that, trim the Silencer and the Shadow Cat, and we just call it a deck, right? Like, I can just say, I guess the Shadow Cat's probably better than the Warrior if we're getting rid of all party shenanigans. It looks like about 14. It's 15. It's like, this isn't doing amazing things here. I mean, it's possible we get counters on Tabaraks, right? But it's also giving us a situation where if they like Bubble Snare one of our dudes or Pacifism one of our dudes, we can like get some value out of here. I think the Grasp is reasonable. Like, if we're going to play the Relic Golem, we kind of do need some way to get the mill stuff going. I don't think this is great, but I think it's certainly playable. Let's do our Stream Raiders battle, and then I'll take another look at this. Although I think this is just what we're going to play. No, I don't think it's the best card in our deck either, but I think it's fine. There's a lot of robots trying to kill us. This is the future the Terminator series warned us about. I think the rogues do like other rogues, but they don't like go non-party rogues less than other non-rogues. Huh? You're suggesting that they would like party members more than non-party members if you're going to play some non-rogues. Maybe there would be some cards that care about that, but I don't think we have them. Adam with the kills, Whiskey Papa with the assists. Rewards for Miklas, Bitter, and Kak. I probably would, Holy. All right, this is for the blue chest. Let's make sure we get this one. Is important. Like, we don't have anything that cares about parties. At all. Like, ideally we'd have a couple clerics, but we don't. So we can just play squids and shadow cats and be fine. Rogues care about rogues, but are impartial to the rest. Not necessarily. Because a rogue deck is probably going to be playing, I mean, generally speaking, ours isn't, which is a distinctive factor here. But you could be playing the 2/3 that you can pump and make unblockable, and having some extra party members around for that isn't a bad thing. You'll also typically have access to like Deadly Alliance, so having a priest or something just kind of sitting around makes that a little better. I do wish I'd gone in one turn earlier and gotten the Rogue Gold card. I think that would be better than the Tazim Royal Mage, because I could have picked up a Royal Mage later. I'm not going to see another Rogue, but... Seafloor Stalker, that was the guy I was thinking about. I'm not the best at remembering card names, but I can kind of remember what they do. Looks good to me. We got squids. I like squids, yes I do. I like squids, how about you? I mean, to an extent, we all like to party, right? Yeah. There's always some folks who are like that. I think I'm supposed to bounce this now, huh? They'll respond by into the roiling my Shadow Cat, presumably, but they won't eat any body. Oh, it's a spell shield. Okay, never mind. I forget that people play that card. I have been gotten. That's the worst time for me to do that. You should probably assume, I guess, that people are playing a card like Spell Shield. I've just seen so many people play it. I didn't think it was very good. What's up, Sid? Really like Shield? I guess I just don't like combat tricks that much, and one that doesn't pump power really leaves me unexcited. I don't even like it with Roost. Yeah, it pumped power there, but it's on a 0/5 creature. How threat heavy this format is compared with the naturally high power of creatures, it makes for a really good trick. I haven't really, I don't think I've put Spell Shield or Dauntless Unity in a deck yet. But it's another one of those cases where they just don't make unplayable cards anymore. Yeah, but say we play that the other way. I got a little over eager there because I was expecting an Into the Royal. Like, if they block and use it there, we get a free 2 for 1. Like, that's asking to make you use a defensive combat trick, which is, like, definitely not something I ever want to do. Okay. Sure, but what if they don't? I guess you just still have a 0/5, but which is fine, but yeah, that's fair. I mean, again, it's not that it's unplayable, it's just a card I don't like. That looks fine. I've already seen that card. Like, it's a removal spell. It's not weird. It's not great, but sometimes there's cards that are alive that you need to be dead. I mean, that's kind of what white cards are now, right? Like, they don't make good white cards anymore. We're gonna get wrecked by an Into the Royal here. Which I think probably just finishes off our game plan. Spell Shield in the year of our Lord 2021. I mean, maybe that's a reason to play it. If there's a significant number of people who don't think it's very good, then you can get them with it, because I certainly got. This is not really the droid we were looking for. I don't think there's a card that wins us the game before they can hit another land drop. We need to draw Pag Beast and Royal Eruption. I mean, stranger things have happened. Yeah, you got me. There's some mill adjacent things going on here, and the ground seems pretty well covered. I think I might actually want a kite sail. I don't often want a kite sail, but I think I do here, and ACOG can beat it. We're going to need to just kill him. And respect the spell shield. As well as the Spire Monitor, they do have one of those. We're going to have to go to the area. This is functionally the same as a turn 1 crab. That's not great. I suppose the good news is we can start connecting for 3, but there's going to be issues here. That is not currently one of my issues, but there be things to be worried about. Worried about the Spire Monitor this turn. Like, we're not getting through enough damage to beat the crab. Okay, this gives us some slim option. Interesting. So I wouldn't necessarily say much of an option. Okay. What's up, Andy? Like, that's still incredibly hard to race. Like, they need 3 lands and I'm dead. I just don't have enough power on the board. Yeah, that's just enough stalling power to get me. Can I get back anything that matters here? Not really. We can get back the blood beckoning, which is sort of a start at something, but I strongly suspect we're dead by then. Because I don't have time for this. We're what, at 6? So yeah, 2 lands and we're dead. And we know they're going to bounce the 3-2. That's unfortunate. I feel like I could have been in the game 1 if I'd thought a little more about that. It's unlikely for them to stop drawing lands. They're going to look at 4 cards before we have any real expectation of killing them. Yeah, I can Blood Beckoning back something, but it just kind of doesn't matter, right? Like, I need the flyers to have any real hope of killing them. So I guess we go for a flyer, Blood Beckoning another flyer, cross our fingers? But this means they need to not draw a land this turn, and then the next turn they can draw one. If there's a land on top of their deck, we're just losing. There was our removal spell for this guy. A little late for that. Also something like, we're at 2, so like, I need them not to be able to mill us at all. This continues to increase the likelihood of that not happening. They have a Glacial Grasp to get and they just didn't. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Royal Mage and get the removal. So we would... we don't have time. Like, we've got one... I have to win next turn. So we could bounce our own Royal Mage, replay it, get the removal, use that to kill the crab, draw this, and then die. Like, we're locked into a line now of here and here, and hope that somehow with that field research they don't find a land. I think my only hope is that if they kick the field research, we can bounce this in response. It's still not likely to work, but it's what we've got. Because they just recast the darn thing. I was hoping Auto Tapper might get them. But there's a reason I don't particularly care for this crab. It's not that it's bad, it's just that it doesn't feel fun to me. But it is what it is. Let's take a short break. I need to grab a soda, and we'll see if we can scrape a 2-1 out of this. I'll be right back with you folks. I think I got just a little salty there too, because I didn't play around a card that I don't like. But just because I don't like it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Like, especially this late in the format, I should have been thinking about the Smell Shield. Well, I wasn't actually that mad about the crab, because, like, there's nothing I could do about it. I feel like we did just about everything we could do to try to beat the crab. But I was so certain my opponent had an Into the Royal, because that's what I would have had. The way they were lining up those blocks, that I kind of played the worst way I could around Spell Shield. Which was kind of me not thinking, I mean, what actually it was me not thinking through the entire range and option of plays until after I'd already attacked. Once I've attacked, I can't Into the Royal. If I want to Into the Royal, I need to do it before I attack. Yeah, but like that game I wasn't going to win anyway. That one I don't really feel anything about, right? Like, they had a crab on turn 1, I couldn't beat it. It is what it is. The previous game, though, I didn't think my way through that turn properly. And it came back and bit me. I don't like it when it bites me. Like, it sucks to lose the game. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm never happy to be like, oh, well, we lost. But I think the last draft we did, we were 2-0, got to the end, kept a 2-lander, never drew the land. Like, I didn't really feel anything about that because there were no decisions to make. Losing to the crab is basically the same thing as losing to Mana Screw. You just think that you get to play more. But, I mean, you don't. You know what I mean? Why is Deliberate a good sign? I play that a lot more than I play Spell Shield. I actually kind of like Deliberate. I think there's a lot of decks that want it. Blue-green is the one that's most likely to, because you can end up with a deck that has cards like Relic Amulet and not quite enough wizards to power it out. Yeah, Opt is better than Deliberate. Opt isn't in the set, so it's not particularly relevant, right? May as well get our ACOG value. I don't think it's getting any better. I always take deliberate as a good sign. I assume my opponents know what they're doing. That makes me think we're playing against blue-green wizards, and like we've seen a good number of wizards here. So it kind of wouldn't surprise me if they have the thing that does the stuff. But I suppose it's possible that they don't. We'll see. I cycled that earlier just to hit the land. Like, we're not going to get to do much if we're stuck on 3 lands forever. It could also just be a bad blue-green kicker deck. Like, there's all sorts of things it could be, but it's also possible they've got, I don't know, 1 or 2 really good cards in the deck and didn't quite get their own playable, so Deliberate's a way to dig through. I don't think it's Deliberate great. I think it's very deliberate medium. Okay, starting to look more like the kicker variant. That's usually a good sign that your opponent is playing kicker things, yeah. So would you play a Deliberate in a deck that has 2 Rooster Drakes? Because I think you might. I think you just might. Wonder why they didn't attack me here. That's kind of weird. I feel like I might want to draw and see if I can hit a rogue. But there's also some value to be had just for bouncing one of these. Not a ton, but some. Yeah, I think you're always just better off assuming that your opponent is playing the cards that are in their deck for a reason. Everybody loves Rooster Drakes. Unless you don't like winning. In which case you probably don't care for Rooster Drakes. Well, that's just fun, isn't it? Need to make sure we have a black up. Don't see a world where we win this. I don't think there's many worlds where we win this, but I wouldn't say it's all over just yet. They're only getting free flying tokens every turn. We can probably beat that. I should have recorded the other videos for YouTube because there were interesting decks with interesting decisions, and this one's just not. Sorry, YouTube, if you want to see the good stuff, you're going to have to come to the stream. We keep the wins exclusively there. I really don't think there's any lines that get us out of this. Because having them discard a land doesn't do anything. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So we're literally just dead on board. But I can still cast this. Maybe hit a land. Get an attack in. See what their life total's at. Bubble snare one of these. They really don't want death by squid. I can appreciate that. I don't really have to bubble snare one of them now. 2, 4, 6, because it's going to be lethal either way. So getting a blocker out of the way might be better. We don't have quite enough to kill him from here. It's a pretty good draw. The good news is we can sideboard in our yeah. We got that going for us. Trying to splash against infinite tokens is, or trying to block infinite tokens is just delaying the inevitable. So we could bring in the kite sail and put ourselves in a position where we can block their infinite flyers. But the problem with infinite flyers is they're going to have more of them. Not today, Crab. It's not tired brain, it's that I don't have anything that can beat that card. Huh? I've got essentially nothing here, which really sucks. This is my game plan. This is what happens when you don't punish tradition, sedition and treason. An armed protest sounds a bit like white privilege to me. And by a bit, I mean a lot. All right. I do not think this game is going our way, but we can try. Why not both? It can be both. There you go, Mish. You figured it out. This seems pretty easily beatable to me. I don't see what the problem is. I was too, Andy. But some good news, and warning, I'm going to say a word which some people consider to be a curse word. But there was a little bit of hope, and that I called my parents, and one of the first things my mom said was, well, I guess Trump really showed his ass, huh? I was like, okay, maybe sort of kind of starting to maybe think. Yeah, that's really great news as far as I'm concerned. I'm trying to decide if I want to end the royal that. I think I might. They're stuck behind on mana and it lets me attack here. If I hit a land, I can also play out Tabaraks. It's really tough with family. And what was particularly tough was I spent the morning getting myself ready for that conversation. Because if they had not said something along those lines, I was going to say, well, you can call me back and we can talk when you think sedition is actually a problem. I think it's important to talk to them about it and important to say things like, we're not maintaining a relationship if you continue to do this. I probably should have played the Tabaraks first, but I was thinking about something else. I feel like it's worth telling them why you don't want to talk to them. Like I'm okay with agree to disagree in some scenarios. This is not one of them. Yeah, it's been past that point for a while. To my estimation as well. Not a whole lot I can do here. And not much we can do right this second, but we may have a good turn here in a minute. I was thinking we might do something where we try to get these out of the way, but I'm no longer thinking that's the case. I think we need to be a little aggressive here. Would have been nice to be a little aggressive and keep that open, but we take these. This should be lethal next turn. Like, I could consider sacrificing it to get in 9 here and putting them to 3. That kind of says kill this or die, but they're already, like, them being at 3 isn't functionally any different from them being at 4. Plus, I get to leave it up. All right, I didn't think we were going to be able to win that game. I don't think we're going to be able to win the next one, but we tried. Let's do our Stream Raiders battle, so at least we can win something. A victory for Updoot. They've got 2 Doots. And a Carb. No, it wasn't that they didn't have kicker cards, it's that they didn't have mana. We only won that because they got stuck on 4 lands literally forever. I think if you replace one of those roosts with a land, we lose that game. All right, I need y'all to work it. We got to win this. That is so... I've never seen that many healers. I think we can beat the Toasters just because we're basically immortal now. Get wrecked, Toasters. Miori with the kills, Miklas with the assist. Blue chest for y'all. Miklas, Dykus, Bitter, Silence, and Orcish get the rewards. But we all get the wards. Yeah, I talked some about the Omniscience drafts earlier, and I don't think those are exactly for me. But it's okay if other people are enjoying them. Like, it ain't my jam, but it don't have to be. Play what makes you happy. I don't usually like the things that break the rules of draft. I like things that change formats around. That's fun to me. I think they'd be in... Well, the thing I said was, like, I saw somebody on Twitter say this. I can't remember who it was, but, like, if this had been something similar to the Hearthstone Brawl, where it's free to play, you don't keep the cards, if you manage to go, I don't know, 5-0, you win 100 gold and a pack. And then if you do it again, you get 25 gold for the next 3 times you do it. I think it'd be a blast, and I'd be playing it right now. But that's just not how that worked out, so. It's hard to give anything that takes server time space away for free. It's hard, or I don't wanna. Because it doesn't sound like it'd be hard. It might be hard to justify, perhaps. But that's like marketing. my dude. You do a fun free thing that people can get in on. Maybe they will do more of your things. I mean, to an extent, me too, right? Like, even capitalist swine have to understand. They've got an ACOG, and I don't need to play into it. You got to do some advertising. Okay, it was Mata Marasa. Fine, they still trade. Thank you for that, Andy. Don't need either of these back. Told you they had one, but we can beat that with the beckoning. That's how you beat Double Roost. You babble about other draft formats and politics, and then you get there. So if they don't draw any land or draw too much land, we can get there. These are times I celebrate RNG. Because it certainly worked for me there. What's up, Fatty? Sorry about that, man. Fatty Chopper was my opponent in that round. GG's. I'm sorry it worked out like that, but your deck was stacked, bud. Absolutely stacked. Ours is not. Not really. Just we knew we were in blue and started picking up playable black cards and then just kind of ended up there. Answer the question? I think I did. I think we more got into blue-black stuff because we were definitely blue. I had them all of the Skyclaves that I wanted to play, but white wasn't open. And then I got past a Tabarax, and I was like, okay, maybe we're just doing blue-black stuff. But I don't think we're necessarily in rogues. We're just in, like, blue-black cards I have. Oh, that's a fair opportunity, Jimmy. That's a fair opportunity. It wasn't necessarily rogue, it was just we could be playing blue-black cards. Okay. Kind of just need to hit another land. Blue one would be real nice. Is there anything I can get back that I want back? Gosh, I kind of don't even want to play anything this turn either. I guess I won't then. I'm not exactly threatening to mill them out here. I can take that and then counter something else, which isn't terrible. I guess I could take that and counter this. That works. It's a way for me to get in a 2-spell turn without having to do a lot. Sure. I don't know where I'm supposed to play him out, but obviously we'll just get back the thing that does the stuff. Because I'm going to hold on to that for you. That seems real good. I want one. Okay. That's dead, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's just dead. Yeah. Yeah, I like the Constrictor. It's nice. They've got a very strong deck over there. The only thing I don't like in their deck is the Baloth, but I get it. You don't what? You don't get the Baloth? I don't particularly like it either, but I mean it is what it is. We can't counter it, right? Isn't it uncounterable? Well, I can cast ACOG. It just won't do anything. To those wondering why I didn't force them all, I've actually done that. I've picked this and then been like replaying it, and I think it went 1-2 because like sometimes you don't draw it. Yeah, I think this is what we've got. Like I don't have much of a size board. All right, let's talk. Yeah, you can just end up with not much of a size board. I've played with it a couple times. It like when you draw it, it's great. When you don't, huh, your deck's kind of not wonderful. It's a bit awkward, but I can deal. That's why it's a bit awkward, is that I don't really want to save that. Yeah, I need the land. You can keep it. You can keep it. I don't care that much. I'll give it one more turn. If we don't hit a blue, I'm going to have to just play the dang thing out. I was thinking we could go blue source into field research into hitting land drops. And there's some argument that it might be fun to Malakir Rebirth the acquisitions expert. But we're getting past the point where that matters. That's a little scary too. I may have to block now and use the Rebirth to try to get one of their last cards. Because I'm legit a little terrified. That helps. I've seen a bunch of people do that. Alright, we got the Hagra Mauling. That's good. I think a lot of people don't understand what this card does. That's not the first time I've seen that. I think we're going to bring in... I've got one of those things that, like, turns a land into any color land. It's a weird card to bring in for something like a Crawling Barrens when we know they're splashing. Yeah, Lithoform Blight, I think is the name of it. Doesn't it do something with this? Does it not? I thought it did, but I could be wrong. And like, the deck's not very good, so being able to answer a card like that seems pretty good to me. I think they got me here. I do think I'm interested in the Blight for the Barons, though, unironically. And I could probably trim the ACOG. They have to be scared of it anyway. Yeah, you gotta have your lands early enough for them to matter, and we didn't, so they didn't. Yeah, I suppose that's better than never getting it, so I'm not gonna complain. It's a great opener. We can cast all our spells. New! Yes. Wonder what they'll sacrifice. We're gonna need a judge. McLord. It can only go on lands. Sorry, now I'm getting more interested in what's happening over here. Okay. Everything's a question of layers, though, right? Like ogres. That fancy way to put counters on two things. Okay, so the Blight's already done its thing. We don't need that anymore. We may as well just cycle this. Here, enjoy. I think we're on the mill plan. 10 turns, we can do it. Why are you against onions? Who's against onions? Onions are great. You hate onions? Finland's against onions? I don't know, seems bad, man. I bet they made him cry. No one likes the taste of raw onions. Am I actually need to kill this and try to mill them out? I think so. Let us know what happens, John. I'm actually curious. I think they may be trying to kill me. I also don't think I'm going to mill them out in time. I have splashed it in kicker decks. I wasn't happy with it. You figured it out? What did you figure out? How Travis loses this game? Because I think I figured that out too. Shia died? Okay, well now we know that is definitive proof of how that works. There's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I can pretty easily, like, chump that, not take any damage. I don't think there's a way for me to kill them because I haven't been attacking with this, and I probably should have. What if I do this and this? They're still going to kill my dudes. It's not about that. It's about soaking the damage. Because this means we're currently taking 7, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think I'm just dead. That is very unfortunate. I don't care for that. I don't care for that at all. So Sparky won. I'm not sure what one card gets me out of this. Crab, land. Well, that doesn't do it. Is this? More or less. Well, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, I hope you've enjoyed the conversation today. I can't win on YouTube drafts. If you'd like to watch me win, you're going to need to do that at www.twitch.tv/Semulin. Because I don't think it's ever going to happen here. I think they did. If they put a counter on the other dude, the trample might have been enough to get me. But like, we're pretty much not winning that game. And that's okay. That's okay. It's not all about winning. It's about the friends you make along the way. So YouTubers, come check out the stream if you'd like to watch me win. Chat, say goodbye to YouTube. We'll be back with a few more Zendikar Rising drafts on the YouTubes before they are gone, but never forgotten. Pour one out for your crab homies. All right, we'll see y'all next time, YouTube.